Hey, good morning, Maria, back with another video. It is 10:03 a.m. It is October 10th, Saturday morning, and I'm just kind of wondering what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I woke up around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I stayed up for a little bit, and then I went right back to bed. And then I just woke up kind of like an hour ago. So my schedule got a little twisted, which tends to happen when you're not working because nothing's consistent, right? So I decided to make this video because, it's a beautiful autumn morning. Yesterday I went out for a walk. I went out to the park, and it was very beautiful. The trees were gorgeous, and the little leaves were falling and stuff. So I sat there for a while, and I started thinking, and it just felt really nice to be outside. Then I came back home, and then, I went about my business. It was my son's birthday yesterday, so I did bake him a cake, and it was really cute. I mean, I would really like to have better cake decorating skills because I really do appreciate that art form. I've seen people do great jobs on Pinterest, and they have great skills. I know there used to be classes on doing such things. I'm sure there's probably YouTube tutorials and stuff like that to do that, but I just did the best I could. I went to the dollar store and picked up a couple of things and made it as cute as I possibly could. It was nice. So it wasn't a bad day yesterday. Now today I have more time on my hands because there's nothing really to do, and I get really tired of not having anything to do. And I'm the kind of person, I have a lot of energy in my mind as well as in my body, and I want to just do things. I want to constantly do things, and then I feel like I'm so limited on what I can do because I'm stuck in the house. So that's the main reason why I go out for walks, because there's really nothing to do, and plus I want to be outside. And I have noticed that there's a lot of people putting out their Halloween decorations, which are really nice. There's a house over on, I believe it's H Street. Could be wrong. Maybe it's H or Chester. I get it confused. But anyway, this house is decorated in a way that really looks like the spirit of Halloween. I mean, it's twisted. It's cool, but it's just like, dang, that looks really, really spooky, really spooky. So, as the seasons we go through these seasons, people get very decorative, and sometimes it's not even really a holiday. It's more like a seasonal type thing, where some people, they decorate, whether they put out new flowers or new lawn ornaments or whatever. I like to look at the neighborhoods and see what's going on, okay? It's relaxing for me. And then sometimes I have this little mental game in my mind, like, wouldn't it be great if they had like contests, like who kept their house, in the best condition? People who actually put thought into keeping their houses area clean, and then also making it look more decorative and stuff like that. And I always have these little contests, like, that house would win, that house would win. So yeah, I do appreciate looking at that. But really, yesterday was gorgeous, and then I didn't need a jacket. It wasn't too hot outside. It was just right. So I'm hoping today will be the same day. So, I think that some people think that I'm vengeful towards my perps, or I guess I want to call them my network that I didn't really want to be a part of. And, I think it's a natural thing to want these people to understand what they've done to me. But do I want revenge? I think there's a part of you, once you've suffered some sort of injustice for such a long time, and I'm even thinking about how long it's been going on, you feel vengeful to a certain degree. But for the most part, I just want to forget these people, and that's pretty much the way it is with me. It's like I just want to forget and move on with my life, however that goes. And it's very hard because you're a targeted individual. You've developed anxiety issues about meeting people, but then you have to go out and work, right? And this is something that your perps won't understand, because they tend to have this view of you like you can put up with all kinds of ridiculous abuses, and they don't think that you have feelings. They don't think that it affects you in any way. They just think that maybe because you have maybe a supernatural gift, that they think that you don't have regular human feelings, or that you don't have those fears and stuff like that. I will tell you, after a consistent amount of time, we are going to deal with those things. I don't like, being abused. I don't think anyone does. And especially for the length of time that I have been. But anyway, I would like to stop making these videos about this issue as much as I possibly can, and just kind of focus on other things, you know, in the past I've seen people make videos about different things, product reviews, current events, although I really don't stay up on current events. And some of the new news coverage has really actually shocked me. I'm like, oh, this is actually happening? Because I really don't want to pay attention to it. I don't, okay? I think it's a downer. Things happening in my personal life is already a downer. And then I think about the world suffering. It's like, whoa, you know, this is getting, of course it is, and the world is suffering, and I'm completely aware of it, okay? And there's all kinds of problems that are going on, especially with the coronavirus and, you know, people losing their jobs and all this stuff, and it's very, very sad, okay? And I'm up on some of the little intricate changes that they're doing about it. I'm not really as current on that, but, you know, your people are dying, like, you know, certain celebrities are dying and stuff like that, people that I've recognized pretty much all my life. And even though I don't have an emotional connection to these people, okay, because I'm not one of those people who get so into celebrities that I have to follow everything that they do, and I'm like, you know, connected to them. Some people have this admiration for celebrities that I think go a little bit over the top. But I am interested, like, if I hear the news that somebody passed away or something, it makes you start thinking, it's like, my gosh, you know, look how old I am. Like, look how old I am. I'm old, okay? And I'm aware of that every day, especially when, you know, you see people that you've watched on television or whatever, and then they end up dying, and or they're not even dead. You turn on the TV or the internet or whatever, and you see a picture of them, and the last time you remember them in a movie, you know, they were somewhat young, and then all of a sudden they were like really old, and that makes you think about how old you are, because when you saw them and when they were in their prime, you were like in third grade or something, and you're like, oh man, you know, time goes by really fast. And so I was thinking yesterday about how fast time goes, you know. And I remember, as I've talked about before, being mobbed out of jobs and dealing with weird people in general or whatever. And I kept thinking, you know, all this time I have been running from something, because I didn't understand exactly what was going on. Not back then. Not 20 years ago, not all these other years. I honestly thought, you know, I was just somebody that people wanted to attack randomly for no apparent reason, okay? Because you don't know, you don't quite understand that certain people can put something in place like this. So look how many years I've been going through this. So all these years, there's been times where I've moved houses and moved from one location to another. There's been times where, you know, I worked jobs where people were just acting ridiculous, and I'm like, my God, I got to get out of here. Then I'd finally get out of there, or I'd have to stay there for a long period of time because they had things going on behind the strings or whatever. I was living under a constant period of stress, fear, worry, anxiety, tension, you know, all these years. Decades, okay? And then the last 7 years, to me, it's a covert operation, but the intensity of it is quite overt, okay? Especially when they're dragging you into job interviews and they're just playing with you or whatever. So, it has been hell. It has been hell, okay? It's been hell. So, all these years have been going by, and I keep thinking, look how much of my life this has taken away from me. This has taken away so much of my life. It has taken a lot of my life out, you know, and I'm aware of it. I'm completely aware of it. Now, I think that what people want, I don't know what people expect from me, but all I really expect from myself is to have a decent, simple little life. And that's what I was doing all along. And then all this happened and everything got thrown up in the air. I mean, I was literally like minding my own business, and all this crazy stuff started happening, right? In the last few years, okay? I mean, it's always happened, but you know what I'm talking about. So, I just want a peaceful life. That's it. That's all I want. I want to deal with, I've always been the kind of person that goes to work and come home. I would like to have people that I could go out with and do things with. Like, I've been wanting to have a gal pal for a long time, a very long time. But then you wonder, like, after there's been like these campaign smears and all these other things, you wonder, who am I supposed to trust now? You know, it's very damaging to people's lives when these sort of things are put in place. Gang stalking is not a funny, frivolous thing. It's something that is very serious, okay? And so I hope that people understand this, that people understand why they shouldn't do it. It's not that, believe me, I have a sense of humor. I'm not somebody who believes in being all rigid and like, just refined to the point of where I don't like having fun. Okay, because I do. Okay, I'm a very silly, goofy, lighthearted person. I have a very, what's the word for it? I'm young at heart, okay? I mean, I find things very joyous. I have a good, like I said, I have a good sense of humor. I can make jokes. They may not be funny, but they're funny by the fact that they're failing jokes or whatever. But I do have a sense of humor, okay? But, when you're dealing with something like that, you have a lot of people who maybe, I don't know, they don't understand the law, or they don't understand the reasons why you should not take this to a certain point. And when it continues to happen, you feel violated on many levels. And it's very terrifying, because I understood, even though I didn't know who was behind it, I understood the effects of it. I understood what this was. I knew it was illegal. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was going to affect me for the long term, and I wanted it to stop. And the sad part is that people discredited me for many years. They always thought because I was a little quirky, that I didn't know what I was talking about. Maybe people will listen now. It makes sense. It'd be kind of silly to ignore things that I say when I obviously have proven that I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. And so, some people got dragged in this because of ignorance. Some people got misled into making huge mistakes because they think that, especially when the majority is behind something. When the majority is behind something, people think, well, then there must be right. I remember when I was younger in school, I realized that was not always true. Like, sometimes people would raise their hand and swear up and down this one particular thing was the answer. And I'm thinking, no, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. And so all the kids would say, oh, this is it, this is it. And so the other kids would think, okay, well, this must be it, because this is everyone saying this, right? This is a big lesson, okay? Just because everyone believes it, there's a lot of people who get misled in large numbers, okay? So watch yourself. Make sure you think for yourself. That's the most important thing that you can ever do for yourself in this life. I mean, sometimes we do have to operate and function as a group, okay? But just because, don't make your decision based on what just everybody is thinking. Because a lot of people base their things off of the other person that thinks this and the other person that thinks this. And it becomes this big, big ball of confusion that you're going to get swept up into. So I'm an independent thinker, but I do take things into consideration. I do value the opinions of other people. I do, especially if they have a track record of being accurate or whatever, then I take that seriously, okay? But I understand that there's a lot of things that go on. There wouldn't be millions of people in the targeted individual program if people weren't wrong. If they were right, there wouldn't be millions of people in the targeted individual program. There's a lot of people who are going to jobs and stuff like this where people are practicing illegal employment practices, human trafficking, okay? And all these people are educated. They're supposed to be really well versed in what they're doing, okay? But they're making the same errors. They're allowing trafficking to go on. They're allowing people to be stalked. They're allowing all these things, okay? There's millions of targeted individuals in this world. So there's a lot of wrong out there. There's a lot of wrong out there. And so what I'm trying to do is make sense of it in terms of how it relates to employment. Because believe me, if you're a targeted individual, your shit's getting messed up when it comes to putting a roof over your head and stuff like that. So this is my issue. And this is what I thought was the most important when I first realized I was in this program and started making these videos. So when I'm talking, I'm not talking about getting revenge. I'm not talking about bringing it up again. I'm just telling you where I'm at right now in my life, okay? When it comes to how I'm going to support myself, it is up in the air. I'm willing to do whatever. I don't know exactly how to approach it right now because it's very hard. It's very hard. I don't have, the ability to stand out. People know who I am, okay? Everybody in this town knows who I am. They do, okay? Whether they want to admit it or not, we know, okay? We know. But still, it's always an issue of you feel a little bit hesitant to make a move because you don't want to deal with that drama again. You don't want to deal with what you had to deal with. You don't ever want to have to encounter that sort of bullshit again. I'm a person who works very hard. I'm a person who cares about my job. I'm a person who is serious about their job. And I want to be taken seriously, as a professional person. And I deserve that. I deserve that, and I think everyone deserves that, right? So anyway, today is going to be really one of those days. I think I might have something in mind to do tomorrow. I want to go for a walk because it's really nice outside. I want to take advantage of the weather. I'm looking forward to it getting colder, because I like the cold weather a lot. I like to bundle up and at night and sleep well. But anyway, and that's pretty much all I've really been thinking about, just trying to figure out how I can get back on my feet, and it's nerve-wracking is what it is. It's nerve-wracking because, you really, what you need to take care of, okay? But you're like, okay, are these perps pipe down now? Are these, like, my ex-family, do they understand what this shit is and why you shouldn't be doing it? Because after 5 videos and 5 years and thousands of videos, it's like, does it get in? Does it sink in what you're doing? It is an extremely devastating thing to do to a person. And it just is. I don't have much in my life, mainly because of this issue, being a trafficked person and being a victim of stalking pretty much all my life. But I'm a very content person. I don't need much. I'm pretty, I'm kind of a cheap person, a bargain hunter, if you will. So I don't need much. You know what I mean? But I do like to make sure, like, my lights are on. I don't like the threat of having services discontinued. I don't like those sort of things, those sort of worries, okay? If I need a new pair of rain boots, I want to be able to go out and get them if I need them. I don't like to go without things that are necessary, And then I do like my little comforts. I like my treats to the 99-cent store and stuff like that, which I had a fun time, which I need to do more of those Dollar Tree hauls, okay? Those are fun. Those are really fun. But I had, but that's just it really right now. I've been dealt with a huge injustice. I've dealt with a lot of people who wanted to attach themselves to me that I didn't really know very well, but now they kind of revealed their true colors, and it is disturbing knowing that somebody would do something like this to you. It's crazy. It's crazy. It feels it's terrifying. Really, it is terrifying. But I care about my work. I care about my not just my work at work, but I'm talking about my work as far as how I presented myself when it came to this activism relating to this issue, when it comes to human trafficking. And I'm not somebody who, like, wants to stand out with a picket sign or, that sort of stuff. But I do think it's important that people understand this and that these things are taken seriously. And I know people want to, like, shuck it off, like, well, you're just being too overly touchy. No, I'm not being overly touchy. We're dealing with people's lives here. Okay? I'm not the only woman who has been affected by this. There are several women out there who are younger, some are older. Some people are in physically abusive relationships, and you've got people who want to play games and throw their life up in the air. And they're screaming for help, and then people take it as a joke. It's not a joke. It's not it's a serious matter. Okay? There are a lot of, even men get trafficked, for all kinds of reasons. Anyone can be a victim of human trafficking. Anyone can be. And when they're crying out for help, it's not a time to intensify the torment. I've come to realize there's a lot of people who don't recognize suffering in other people. And it's scary. It's scary. And so you wonder, how is it that sociopaths and stuff like that could kill someone or abuse someone? You wonder, but you just saw it. It was just demonstrated in front of you. It's generally when somebody has the attitude where they feel as though they know what's right for a person and they don't really take in consideration, they dehumanize another human being. And you've all seen how easy it is to dehumanize another human being. Whether you witness it yourself or you are misled into doing it. You know, it's very important. Because like I said, I'm not the only person who's in this program. And I know there's a lot of women. I've seen a few videos of women who've had children. There was a lady who was just absolutely terrified. When I first started making videos, she was talking about how she was always alone. She was alone. She had a 5-year-old daughter. She was all by herself. I think she just recently divorced. There's a lot of women out there like this who are facing homelessness with children. Okay? And while everyone in their neighborhood thinks it's a joke, it's not a joke. Okay? Women have rights. If they need safety, they need safety. If they need a job, I know you can't get a job just like that all your way, but take them seriously. Don't let outside intrusion in fact affect your employment decisions. It's very important. Okay, there's certain things that should not go into an organization, and there's certain things that should not go out of the organization that we're referring to information. Okay. People need to be protected. Not just women. Men need to be protected. Whether you're white, you're black, you're Asian, you're whatever. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim. Everybody deserves the same respect. Everyone deserves the same respect. You know? And if somebody says, stop it. And this goes for every situation. If somebody says, stop it. Stop it. Just like if a man was to date a woman and they were kissing or whatever, and she says, okay, I'm done enough, okay, stop it. And he constantly lunges at her, pulls at her, tugs at her, trying to force her back her into a corner, kiss her or whatever. She said, stop it. Okay, she's no longer consenting, okay? Stop it. And the same thing goes with people who harass other people. She says, stop it, stop it, stop it. It's that simple. Show respect, to everyone. So anyway, really bored today. I got too much time on my hands. I did a lot of work yesterday. I cleaned up the house a little bit. Yeah, it needs to be cleaned more. I personally think every house needs to be cleaned. It needs a deep down scrubbing and all the other stuff. Really, I do as much as I can, but there's a lot of lack of motivation. When I'm motivated and happy, when I'm working and everything is, I feel a sense of security, then I don't mind buzzing through, cleaning stuff, deep cleaning stuff, because I feel like everything's in order. My life is right now, it's completely skewed. I feel like so lost. I feel like I'm in this long, dark corridor. I don't know what to do. I'm terrified. I don't trust people. It's a horrible thing, But I will say, respect other people's decisions. You may not understand them, but respect them. Have respect for everyone. Have respect for other people. Just understand that you have the right to live your life however you want to, and other people have the right to live their life however they want to as well. And it's not open for debate, especially in this country. We are United States citizens, regardless of our skin color. Okay? Just have respect for one another. I'm going to wrap up this video. I will be back with another video some other time later. And to all TIs, stay safe.